So what I recommend is play to a backing track, you know, like if it's in A minor and it's as simple as you get the idea. But if it's something as simple as that, just practice going up and down the scale and maybe leaving out notes or putting notes in so that you think you can get a good feel for it. Just running up the scale, maybe repeat a line, and add vibrato too, because vibrato and bends, or they're very good for lengthening a note and creating sustain and a good feel. And it oftentimes makes it more emotional, because you can stay with that note if it sounds really good and it's very pleasing to the ears. So what to do is get backing tracks, and remember, you have to. This isn't for people that don't know. So if you're sitting here confused, I don't blame you, because I was there at one point. But I'll have to explain it in another video, or you can email me. But it's all about practice, really, and anybody will tell you that, and it's frustrating, but it takes time, and that's basically as simple as it gets. And as complex as it gets is playing to backing tracks and jamming with people and going up and down the scales and all that boring, you know, tiring work. But it's really well worth it. So to end this video off, I'm just going to show you a couple practice runs that I use when I'm playing scales. First of all, what I do is I alternate pick and I go up and down the scale like this. Adding that blues note. And you know, blues notes are good for licks like... Sorry, I'm really tired right now, but that's no excuse. Anyways though, but that's one technique, is just simply playing the scale up and down until your fingers start to feel it really good. Just... And you just start to add things and subtract things and divide things and multiply things by pi, and it just starts to work out over time. So practice that, and also do things like chromatic runs or just chromatic scale exercises, which is just playing 4 notes after each other across the fretboard or just in sequences like... or just simple 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. That's another exercise. I practiced that a lot when I was starting off, and even in intermediate, and I still do. Another thing is practicing your pull-offs. Pull-offs are, in my opinion, more important than hammer-ons to practice and master quickly. But just do scale runs with minimal picking to get your hammer-ons and pull-offs, so you have quicker changes between licks and stuff. Stuff like that, so you can get better speed and control over it. So, practice things like that with hammer-ons and using the pinky too. And pull-offs. Also string skipping. I do string skipping to catch octaves. That's very useful in blues. String skipping, as you saw, I went from this note. It's a pretty big skip, not the biggest, but pretty big. Most people just do one string skip from the octave. Stuff like that, which is very useful too. So it just makes it easier to get across, and you become more familiar with the strings. So I do recommend that. Just stuff like. Also, worry about inside and outside picking a little bit. Inside picking is where you keep it. It's kind of, if you were to take this string, I'll play it up here, and go. Without coming in from the outside up this way to meet the string skip. You're staying inside of the string you're going to. Outside picking would be coming this way, it's starting this way and going this way. A lot of people like outside picking more. I prefer inside picking, but I use both. It's all about what's comfortable to you, remember that. And the last exercise probably that I would recommend for right now is probably a good chord exercise with your chords in the scale. Like if you take the A minor pentatonic scale or the A blues scale, you want to find out all the chords you can use in that. Not the big chords, the little chords, so that you can put inflections into your work. Things like and but these chords, which is the 5th fret on the G and B strings, you can slide that up to meet the next one, which is the 7th and 7th on the G and B. Those are very useful chords. Also, these chords up here, that is the high root right here, on the 10th fret of the B string, right here, and the 9th fret of the G string. Then the 9th fret of the G string and the 8th fret of the B string. Then the 7th and 8th, 7th on the G, 8th on the B. Chords like that are very, very useful, because I mean I have several. Things like that, just with simple, you know, things like that that are just simple chords, but they're good inflections. You wanna have inflections down, and inflections really just means phrasing. And you know, instead of playing a lick like you'd play it. Instead, you know, it just makes it more interesting and gives you your style and tone, really. So practice things like that, and I'm gonna end it off on this video with that. And it was kind of shaky, and I apologize. I'm a little bit off right now, but it should help some of you, especially the ones that know your scales. And there are things to be heard in here that'll help some of you that don't. So I think it's useful for most. Thanks. See ya.